The podcast studio is ready. We turn it on, we move the mics in place, and we're good to go. This is Savannah Pearson. I am Richard Jabbour, and y'all know me, and this is In the In-Between for March 13th, 2026. Howard Stern, and this is Robin Quivers. So, in this episode of In the In-Between, I want to talk about a few things. I guess one thing I want to talk about is, well, social media. And of course, I'm a long former, and this is my podcast on YouTube and Substack. And I write articles on Substack, and a description of that is below. Go read some of them sometimes. You might like them. I also do TikTok. TikTok's a little bit silly, but still it gives you a sense of who I am. And it's out there for everybody to see. Well, another thing I do is Instagram. Our team, the Jabbour Luxury Group, has an Instagram account, and that's a little more polished, a little more the brand of who we are and the homes that we represent. And I guess that's something else I can talk about. I suppose I could do like other real estate professionals and speak of the record sale that occurred somewhere, or the highest this or the most that. I'm a little older than the average real estate professional here, that's for sure. And 30 years ago, I did that in another profession. I had that life. And I enjoy real estate today, and it does afford my team and the members of my team a great life for their families. Nobody begrudges that at all. But I did that 33 years ago in another profession, and today it's not necessarily about setting records. So as I reflect on that just a little bit, I can tell you with absolute certainty, for a time, not too terribly long ago, my team, in fact, represented the most highly valued home that had ever been sold in watercolor. I didn't make a whole lot of hay out of that because that wasn't the purpose. I can tell you with absolute certainty, after decades of one particular real estate company dominating one particular community for 2.25 years, Gail and I were the only other team ever that became the #1 agent in Seaside, Florida, and we still always hovered near the top. And you never know, we might be the #1 agent there again. That's a rare thing to do. I suppose I could say there was a moment in time that on the north side of 30A in Seaside, my team, Gail, and me, we represented the highest price per square foot home ever sold in Seaside on the north side of 30A, several years ago. And not too terribly long ago, the most highly valued home ever to be sold on the north side of 30A in Seaside. And I suspect that record will hold for quite some time. And on a relative basis, I think it'll hold forever. I could go on, but that's not what it's about. And that's not why Savannah Pearson, I guess my cousin, her father, is my mother's brother's son. He's my first cousin. She's 19 years old, so she's known me since the day she was born. She just didn't know it. And she expressed to me a couple of years ago an interest in real estate, and she's 19 years old, and she's got it going on. So does everybody else on my team. And so what am I doing at this stage of life? And why am I in the real estate business? Because I'm trying to build people so that they can have a life too. And that most importantly includes my wife, Gail, my son, Turner, who's not on my team, but then my team members, Ariel, who has a great husband and a new son, Miranda, who has children of her own growing up, and her husband, Sally, who runs the team, and now Savannah, Annie Cabana in Costa Rica, Casey, Kara, also in Costa Rica. These people can have a life, and I want to help them get that life in any way I can by creating an environment where they can excel and flourish. And I know that they are. And that's what In the In-Between is about. It's not about just the pure economics and the pure record-setting things that real estate agents do here. It's the why we're doing what we're doing. Gail and I have reached a stage in life where we've already done what some of these real estate professionals are just now doing for themselves the first time. When I was in private equity at 26 years old, That's a long time ago. I did these things, the materialism, and went through all of that. And I don't begrudge myself earning a nice living from doing the real estate work that we do. But it's about building people, and it's also about building your families. And that's why you don't hear us often talk about the ROI and the rental returns or the accelerated bonus depreciation you might go after on a property. If you want to do that, oh yes, I was in private equity and I've been in the financial services industry for decades. I know all of that stuff at a very deep level. I can talk to anybody about it, the pros and the cons of any strategy. And so if somebody wants to be doing pure investing and they think real estate is a great vehicle for that and they come down here and buy real estate to do that, that's fine. I'll help them do that. But for pure financial performance, it is not the best vehicle for growing money. And if that's what somebody wants to do, that's fine. I grew money for a living when I was 26 years old until I was about nearly 50, 51. That's what I did. And it never really included real estate. It included a lot of things besides that. People come to us primarily wondering what they can do for their families and their memories. They've achieved some measure of financial success, and they want to reach life-affirming goals. And that's where the Jabbour Luxury Group excels, because there's one thing that one of my friends said to me one day that was very profound, and it applies to us all. And it is in the in-between for March 13th, 2026. You cannot build sandcastles on the beach with your grandbabies on a pile of Bitcoin. Have a great day.